This week, I'll be getting into the Jay-Z accusations. And is this the end for J. Cole? Let's talk about it.
The STEM Society.
Welcome back to the STEM Society. My name is Cole Jackson. Episode 75. It is live. We are at the end of the year, guys. It is coming to a close. I hope you guys have had a great year. I hope you had a great week. Quick announcement. I'll be putting out my overlooked albums by Sunday. Sunday, you'll get a new episode of the STEM Society, and you'll also get my overlooked albums. And then I'm going to drop my list of the top 10 albums of 2024 on my Instagram. I don't know if I'm going to do a video for them or not. If I get enough people giving me in the comments telling me to do a video for the top 10, I'll do the top 10. But nevertheless, my list will be dropping on Tuesday. It'll be Tuesday when I drop the list. So be on the lookout for all of those things. And again, if you give me enough comments, I'll make sure if I get enough comments telling me to do a video, I'll do a video for my top 10. Sounds fair? Fair. I don't have any music to critique this week. I've really been busy trying to get these lists together. This is way harder than what I thought it was going to be. But it is a lot of stuff happening in the news that I want to get into with you guys. So let's go ahead and get into that.
Music news.
So unless you've been under a rock, it's been a whole lot of stuff going on with Jay-Z. He's been named in an amendment to a lawsuit where he is being accused of sexual assault against a 13-year-old. And this is tied in with the Diddy stuff. This is what I'm gonna do. Let's go step by step. I want to talk about the allegations, kind of talk about the legal case side of things, his response. Let's just go step by step. So let's start off with the beginning of everything. So there is a Jane Doe who alleges that Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z sexually assaulted her after at an after party following the Video Music Awards in 2000. She had claimed that she had consumed a drink that made her feel disoriented before wandering into a bedroom. And then she said that she said that Jay-Z and Diddy both sexually assaulted her. Jay-Z came in first and assaulted her. Then they said Sean Combs came in and assaulted her. And then there's a third person, which is a female celebrity, that witnessed this whole thing. There has been talk on the internet about a history between Tony Busby, who is the lawyer who is filing these things, and Jay-Z. Some of this stuff is going back to earlier this year where it's been said that Jay-Z has tried to sue him. He put his name, he left himself unnamed. He was a John Doe on this lawsuit to prevent certain things from happening. And then it kind of went back and forth where they're saying like Tony Busby's law firm has been targeting celebrities. I'm not trying to paint the lawyer one way or the other because to me, all lawyers are nasty. They do nasty work, bruh. Like it is what it is. These are some horrendous accusations, bruh. And we're in a time now where people are most definitely looking to see celebrities fall. I don't know everything yet. I'm just going off of what I've been reading. And it just looks nasty out here. The original lawsuit didn't name Jay-Z. The amendment came up after all of this stuff happened, and Jay-Z's name pops up out of like nowhere. I'm just saying, something doesn't look right when that happens. When you go back and forth with somebody and then all of a sudden their name pops up in this lawsuit, that looks kind of strange. I don't want to make this into a cash grab because a lot of talking heads have already came out and said, your typical talking heads is like, this is impossible. This is some shit that people are trying to pull. Jay-Z would never. All I'm saying is I need to hear more facts on both sides. These allegations are horrible. If this happened and she was 13 years old, the celebrity shit is getting out of hand. Everything is getting way too out of hand right now. Personally, I don't want to believe that Jay-Z would be a part of this kind of stuff. But when you look at what happened with Diddy, when you actually kind of look at what happened with R. Kelly, You can't put anything past anybody these days. That's just an observation. I'm not calling him guilty. I'm not saying he's innocent either. I'm saying we need more facts on both ends. It don't look good because when you put sexual assault on somebody, even if they're innocent, that's just something that you can't really erase. You can't get past. And if they're lying on this man and putting this on his jacket, we got a whole nother situation going on. It looks really, really bad. Let's move forward. There was a response. Jay-Z made a response. Jay-Z described the allegations as heinous, and he called for the filing to be a criminal complaint and not a civil one. Now, the reason why he's saying you should call for a criminal complaint is because if I really did this, I should be going to jail and not paying money. The biggest argument that's been going on with this whole situation is money. People are saying this is a cash grab. People are saying that this Jane Doe really just wants to get paid. Shit. I really feel like I'm on the side of Jay with this. If this whole situation went down, getting paid should not be what you want. You should want him to go to jail and rot in jail forever. If he sexually assaulted this child, he should be going to jail. I don't think an amount of money is going to make somebody feel better about being sexually assaulted. It's just one of those things that just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Jay-Z also said that this is more of a blackmail attempt than anything else and trying to get a civil suit. He also went into talking about how he had to talk to his family about this, how this is impacting his wife and his kid. You know, Blue Ivy's like 12, so he's sitting up here saying, yo, I have to explain things to my family that I shouldn't have to, especially with a daughter that's this age. Interesting that he put that in the letter, but it made a lot of sense. I read this article on Forbes, which was talking about, they were breaking down everything that he was saying and if it would work or not, which I thought was an interesting article. They broke down every little piece of what was going on in that letter that he wrote and he released on Rock Nation's Instagram. 60% was him, 40% was the lawyer. I think he had to say something to express how he's not going to be bullied, and he also had to keep it more professional and make sure that he didn't say something out of line to make him look crazy. The letter tells me a lot because to me, when I read the response to this lawsuit, it made me feel like he's not taking this sitting down. He's not taking this lightly. And to be honest with you, I don't think this is the only time that Jay-Z's had somebody try to sue him for something or put this civil suit stuff in there. He's a billionaire. This probably comes on a regular basis. I think the allegations of what they're trying to sue him for or get money for is where he's drawing the line at. And I can't be mad at that. Again, putting sexual assault on somebody, especially when it comes to a 13-year-old, is heavy shit. It's heavy shit. It's something that we most definitely we don't take kindly, especially, now in this world, in 2024, that's something that's not taken lightly. And I think a lot of people are really jumping the gun also because I don't think people have got enough information from either side. I really hope that Jay-Z's lawyers have facts on him not being a part of this situation because that's what everybody's looking for. Everybody wants to see facts. Everybody wants to know, hey, if you're going to say this in your response, you got to make sure you have something to back that up, and your lawyer is going to have to make sure that's taken care of. And I agree with that 100%. You can't come out here, that response letter was cool, and whatever you're saying is really dope. I get it, but you have to come with more than just a witty response when it comes to answering these allegations because these people aren't playing. And even if it's something that's bull, it's staining your reputation. People already don't like him. The discourse on social media about finally getting this nigga is nasty. There are people that have been waiting on this, and I don't know why. I know Wayno made a point about, how people are talking about Jay-Z and wanting him to see him fall. And I just responded to him and let him know, like, bro, when you're up, people just want to see you fall just because. That's the truth. It's a lot of people who just want to see you fall just because. Just because you got it and they don't got it. A lot of times it really comes down to people working their ass off to get to where they're supposed to get to. And the people who are sitting back there talking shit are the ones who ain't even got out the gate or even tried. So it's a lot going on there. It's a lot of commentary that's going on right now. I really hope that Jay-Z has more of the facts. I think his lawyer is going to come up with some other things. Now, Jay-Z has also filed a motion requesting that the Jane Doe reveal her identity, arguing that transparency is needed to defend against these allegations. I don't 100% know what's the laws behind those kinds of things, or I don't know if that can actually be done. I think a lot of times they protect these Jane Does because if their identity is revealed, things could happen to them. There was chatter of Diddy possibly being able to change witnesses' minds or threaten them or whatever the case may be who might try to testify against him. And they're keeping her name anonymous to keep her safe. But I can't be mad at it. If I was Jay, I would want to know who it was too. Who knows? That might be somebody who has a vendetta against him. That might be somebody who might not even have been around, or it might be somebody in his past that he might have fired or whatever the case may be. I understand protecting victims. I understand that they have to have some kind of anonymity to be able to maneuver through all of this shit. But I also understand you're putting sexual assault on my name, my nigga. Like, I've got to be able to defend myself against this stuff. So it's just two ways to look at it. Another thing that came to my attention also was Jay-Z's legal team did present that like Tony Bigsby is one of those people who have been targeting celebrities for a very long time. Like it makes him look like he one of them cheap lawyers that be chasing ambulances and shit. And when you go through the first lawsuit and you see the names, like I mentioned earlier, like Deshaun Watson, I cannot remember the other celebrity's name, and I think Tony Bigsby, if I'm not mistaken, is the guy who had the Diddy hotline where you could call and you can tell him his story and he'll defend you. So he does look like one of those cheap lawyers that's kind of like sitting in the background waiting on some shit to go down so he can jump up and be like, I'll take the case and then take half of your money. You know, those kind of lawyers you see on TV all the time. It just seems like he's not as a big of attorney as a lot of people make him out to be. He does seem like he's a ambulance chasing ass motherfucker. If that's the case, we may have somebody who just likes to get off on suing celebrities and getting paid a exorbitant amount of money. I know there was also going around, and I don't know how true this is, but it was things going around saying a former client of his is suing him for not getting paid. It's a lot of stuff popping out on this lawyer that I find very interesting, especially around about this time. They're mudslinging. Like, these lawyers are playing chess with each other, and it's very interesting to see how stuff is kind of popping up out of nowhere. I've never heard of Tony Bigsby before until this whole situation went down, but I know 10 times more about him since this whole thing went down. So I don't know, man. Like, this dude might be the scum of the earth. He might be a piece of trash. I just know that if he has the evidence to go up against Jay-Z, then he got some balls. Something else that seemed very weird out of nowhere was the fact that like Tony Bigsby came out and said, my client didn't want any money. They didn't want to extort you, Jay-Z. We just wanted to sit down and have a they sought mediation. That's the word. We wanted to have a silent mediation to resolve the matter. Nigga, what? Who wants to just sit down and say, hey, you did this to me. I just want you to apologize. Exactly. That doesn't make a lot of sense. If that's all that they wanted, why is this blowing up so much? Why is this such a big deal? If she really just wanted to sit down and have a conversation and have people there to kind of mediate between what happened between the two, then why are we going this far? Somebody lying. Somebody is completely lying. I don't think you're going to sit up here and put out this lawsuit or this civil suit and just be like, well, we just wanted to talk. That's bullshit, man. Nobody want to sit down and talk when it comes to billionaires. And you just want to get the story straight. We just wanted to figure out what was going on. They don't want financial compensation. It's very hard for me to believe that. And if that was the case, we wouldn't have this all over the news right now. These motherfuckers, people be lying. Stop lying. Stop lying so much on this shit, bro. Like, Be honest. I want to get paid for what happened to me if it happened to me. I don't see the problem in that. You know what I'm saying? Tony Bisbee clearly is out to get a check as well. So finally, there was one more thing that I had read before I did this video, which was Busby actually did a response to Jay-Z. He accused Jay-Z's team of attempting to silence his client through legal intimidation. Yeah. What do you expect? Sexual assault is not something to be played with a lot of these people. I know I keep saying that, but it's real. As a guy, as a man, when someone says you sexually assaulted me, that's just a stain that's very hard to get rid of. Even if it's not true. That's going to be bad for business, even just because you're brought up in something like this. When you attach somebody's name, when you attach my name to somebody like Sean Combs, and we've seen evidence of what Sean Combs has done to other people in his life. When you connect these two things, you're messing with my money. You're messing with my profile as a businessman. You are messing with a lot of deals that I could be doing. And maybe that's the point too. Maybe there's something bigger than what we know that's trying to take Jay down. This is a very weird story, and all of this stuff is really just blowing my mind. Like, I didn't think we were going to end 2025 like this, but there's a lot of things that just don't add up to me. And there's a lot of people out here in social media who really could just care less and just wants to see this man go to prison or just make him pay or whatever the case may be. Personally, for me, I want to see more facts. I want to see what Jay-Z's legal team is going to bring up to show he's innocent. Because there's not enough of that right now. Like, we don't even know if this man is innocent or not. Again, I really want to see the two lawyers play chess and see how this is going to work out in the end. But to me, and the way I'm seeing this right now, it really don't look as good for Jay-Z as a lot of people may think it is. And you can have everybody like Charlemagne or I know Wayno made a statement, but I haven't watched that video yet. Like, it's a lot of hip hop talking heads just saying like Jay would never. I know Jay-Z. Like, no. Do you really know some of these people? I don't want to say that he's guilty. I just want to say, when you know these people, you know maybe a part of them that they show you, and you may not know the other side of them. I just want to see what's going to come up that's going to be facts before I can sit up here and just be like, hey, man, like, I know Jay-Z. He would never do that. He's a billionaire. Like, throwing those buzz phrases out don't mean nothing. It means absolutely nothing. It might be a darker side to him that we don't know. I love Jay. I think I've been a Jay-Z fan for all my life. It would hurt me to know that he would do something like this, but I gotta be honest. Tony Busby's case just looks real fishy to me, but let's sit back and let's just get more facts. All right, I wanted to end on more of a somber note. Let's just get into some other stuff real quick. My man J. Cole. J. Cole said 2025 Dreamville Fest will be the final Dreamville Fest, and I most definitely want to make sure I go. I'm in the UK. I will fly out to go to the last Dreamville Fest. This is one of those things where it makes me feel like J. Cole's kind of wrapping it up. I think J. Cole's about to step into his executive role and retire as a rapper. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if you haven't listened to Inevitable before, one, you're missing out on a great podcast. I love that podcast. I'm trying to catch up because those episodes are like long as hell, but it's really good content. That on top of J. Cole re-releasing his mixtapes. He just dropped the Forest Hill Drive, 2014 Forest Hill Drive. He did the 10th anniversary edition, which had 8 new songs on there. I bought it as soon as I seen it. And I've only skimmed through the album. I haven't really got a chance to sit and listen to those songs, but it just felt so good to just buy something like that. Shout out to Even, by the way. He did it through Even. He did a pay what you want. The minimum was $10, but you could pay what you want for that album. Brilliant. I think more people should be on top of Even and learn what Even is, because a lot of independent artists can grow and get money from that. Not a commercial. I just love their business model, and I think they do great work. But he dropped all of his mixtapes. He did this 10th anniversary of Forest Hill Drive. He's stopping Dreamville Fest. It's a lot of nostalgia that we're getting from this right now, and it just makes me personally feel like he retiring. He's wrapping it up. The Fall Off will be his last full-time rapper album. I think that he'll probably go more into doing features for other artists, and I think he'll most definitely end up on returning to Dreamers every now and again, and then people who are on the Dreamville roster, I think he's going to end up doing features for them too. But when you look at everything that J. Cole has done this year, I think J. Cole is getting to a point where he's just like, man, it's time for me to move on. Nobody else is messing with me. Now, I know in a lot of his rhymes, he had been saying he's moving into his prime. He's in his Benjamin Button shit. I get it, but these are the type of moves that just lets you know that sometimes it's time. There's been a lot of questions about the Dreamville roster. I feel like he may move with more into his executive side of things so he can actually make the roster get better. We've had the whole situation. People forget we've had a whole situation with Ari Lennox and how she was frustrated, and I think he might have looked at that as a situation of like, I need to do something with these artists. So I don't think Dreamville as a label's going away. I think he's probably stepping back so he can let more people shine. Lord knows they've had a great roster of people that never got albums put out, or things never happened for them. And I think it's time for people to start looking at the TDE model and saying, we need to do that. And maybe that's something that he did. I thank God that J. Cole didn't get in the battle now, because of what we're getting. Like, the fruit that we're bearing from this whole situation of him not being in a battle makes so much sense to me. I think we owe J. Cole more of an apology, because I feel like if he would have gotten that rap battle, man, all of this would have meant nothing. Shout out to Akeem from Decipher Media. We were having this conversation, and I was telling him that all of these moves just look like retirement. It just looks like retirement. He actually was talking about J. Cole needing to do a classic before he leaves, and I personally feel like the Fall Off is going to be the classic that we never got. I know a lot of people look at some of his other albums as classics, but I'm personally am saying J. Cole really ain't got a classic. I don't want to get into that conversation right now, but I do feel like with everything that he's putting out now, and for what I feel like he's doing in the studio for the Fall Off, I feel like the Fall Off is going to be the classic that we have been waiting on. And I feel like J. Cole is going to finally just freely say what he wants to say on the album and give us everything that he's got. He's going to cover a lot of stuff on the Fall Off. I can't wait to see it. I mean, I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to just be a part of it. I love J. Cole. He's one of my favorite artists. And this is just everything that I want from somebody who's leaving the game, if that's what he's doing. We'll see. But that's all I got, folks. I got nothing else. You've gotten everything out of me. Be on the lookout for my most overlooked albums coming out at the end of the week, which is Sunday. And be on the lookout for my top 10 hip hop albums list. I'm going to drop it on YouTube. Put a comment at the bottom. Put a comment down there and let me know if you want a video for my top 10 albums of 2024. I've been debating about doing it. I don't know if I want to do it or not, because if I don't get nobody to watch it, why would I make it? So let me know in the comments if that's something that you want to see. Also, join the Patreon. If you're a part of my Patreon, that overlooked albums list is going to come out 2 days ahead, just to give you a heads up. Everything that's extra content on YouTube goes to Patreon first. So if you're a part of the Patreon society, if you're one of my socialites there, then you'll get a lot of this stuff early. I'm going to drop lists. I'm looking to do some audio only podcast there about different things outside of music. I've been wrestling with that, but we'll see. But join the Patreon, get the bonus content first before everybody else on YouTube. It's worth your money, I promise you. I got nothing else, guys. I will catch you next episode. Peace out.
Thank you for joining the STEM Society.